That movie sucked.
I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.
Hi guys, before we get into the episode proper, this is Ray Raphael with a quick request for you all. This year, August 18th, Percy's birthday is going to be on a Thursday. So we're going to take that episode and make it a Percy celebration of him. You know, that's what you do on a birthday. So we're going to talk about our feelings about the boy, but we also wanted to get some of your guys' feelings. And so that's my request. I want you to send in whatever feelings you have, what Percy means to you, what you think about his character, that kind of thing. And a few of the ways you can do that, I would actually love if people would send in voice memos. Anchor.fm/of the eldest gods is where we host our podcast. And there's a voice memo button right on there. I would love it if you guys would keep those short. Anything under 30 seconds I would prefer. And, you know, if we get any of those, might use some of them. I'm not sure if we will, but just putting that out there. The other places you can contact us, the Of the Eldest Gods email, that is going to be oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. You can send anything there. If you want to send voice memos there, that's fine too. Or, you know, written text, that's also very good. Our Twitter, @oftheeldestgods. Or if you're one of our patrons, you can, of course, contact us on the network-wide Discord. That episode's obviously coming out in August, but we would like to have all of our Percy notes by the end of July. So the deadline for this is going to be July 31st. So take a note of that. Make sure you send those in. And thank you. Let's get to the episode. Thanks for listening.
The Friday before winter break, my mom packed me an overnight bag and a few deadly weapons and took me to a new boarding school. We picked up my friends Annabeth and Thalia on the way. It was an 8-hour drive from New York to Bar Harbor, Maine. Sleet and snow pounded the highway. Annabeth, Thalia, and I hadn't seen each other in months, but between the blizzard and the thought of what we were about to do, we were too nervous to talk much. Except for my mom. She talks more when she's nervous. By the time we finally got to Westover Hall, it was getting dark, and she told Annabeth and Thalia every embarrassing baby story there was to tell about me.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent. Ray, that's you.
Oh, I thought Carrie was going first. I'm Ray from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
And I'm Carrie visiting from Cabin 3.
Yay! We did it! We did it!
That was such a long pause. Oh boy.
There's always awkward pauses.
And as we start the Titan's Curse, my mom is going to drop us off on our quest. It's going to be a great time here.
Yeah, because I always like to drive up to Maine in a snowstorm.
Hey, we go to Maine sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We've literally been to like where they went.
Oh, really?
I was where they went a couple days ago almost, except it wasn't a snowstorm. It was almost 80 degrees out. It was gorgeous.
Yeah. My mother is from Maine, so I think this is like very... I didn't even realize where they went in the chapter, and then I was like, oh shit, they're in Maine. They're in Bar Harbor, Maine. This is like...
Bar Harbor, Maine, yeah.
Like, my uncle used to live there.
Yes, he did.
Very cool.
And I was there a week ago.
It's fun shit. Well... Oh, Ray, do you have a recap of this chapter, or...?
Of course I do.
Good. You came prepared. Good.
Right? Like, can you even imagine me doing podcast prep?
I know, right? I'm just trying to remember how this goes at this point, because I'm like, wow, it's been so long since I had a structure for this podcast.
And I never have, so we're gonna have to figure this whole thing out. All right. You guys ready? Is that what we do?
Yeah, what is your fun little recap here? What's going on?
It's not that fun. Okay, so, hey guys, we're starting the Titan's Curse. Isn't that exciting? Chapter 1 is called My Rescue Operation Goes Very Wrong. Yeah, it does, Percy.
As always.
As always. Things never go right for the boy. Percy and his friends, Annabeth and Thalia, get a lift from his mom to a school in Maine. They were called there by Grover, who has discovered 2 new half-bloods, siblings named Bianca and Nico D'Angelo. They arrive during the middle of a school dance and are questioned by 2 faculty members. Thalia manipulates the mist, fooling one of them into believing that they are students, but the vice principal, Dr. Thorne, seems suspicious. Grover reveals that Dr. Thorne is a monster and that he is the reason that he needs assistance in extracting Bianca and Nico. As the vice principal is watching, they attempt not to draw attention to themselves or the D'Angelos by dancing. Thalia with Grover and Percy with Annabeth. Annabeth notices that the D'Angelos are missing, goes to find Grover and Thalia. She and Percy are separated, and he notices Dr. Thorne dragging the D'Angelos away. Percy decides to attempt to rescue them himself, but finds himself in over his head when Dr. Thorne ambushes him. Yay!
That was very thorough.
Very good.
It was very thorough.
I should learn to do that.
Why, thank you. I worked hard on it.
I should learn to do that on our podcast, Charlie.
You're just like, yeah, like they did some shit and like this happened
And other stuff happened.
That's it.
It was all crazy.
Listen. It's fine. It's all fine.
So Thalia's here now, huh?
Yeah, she is. It's gonna be fun. Well, for our little myth section here, there's not a whole lot new, like, mythology-wise going on here.
Well, like, there's stuff going on, but it hasn't been explained yet, because Rick's, like, playing with us a little bit.
Yeah, so I actually just thought I would reiterate, like, a little story that I've already told before, because we have a son of Poseidon and a daughter of Zeus, and now they're, like, kind of besties, but, like, not. It's fine. They're friends.
Percy describes Thalia as a friend, but there is some tension, perhaps.
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Just a little jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would remind the listeners of a fun little story about a son of Zeus and a son of Poseidon named Pirithous and Theseus.
Oh boy.
Who go on fun adventures together. So, I mean, we all know Theseus, like, you know, the Minotaur guy. But before that, or actually, no, was it after that? I lied, it was after that. I'm sorry, I suck at this. Anyway, after the Minotaur is when he meets Pirithous. So Pirithous is just like, I heard of this cool Theseus guy. I'm gonna, like, you know, like, do battle with him and, like, see if he'll be my bestie. And basically, they did that. They did an anime battle, and, like, they became best friends.
As you do.
Yeah, you literally just, like, did battle, impressed each other, took an oath of friendship.
Wow.
It's amazing. Also, I think it's interesting that Pirithous is the son of Zeus in this situation, and he's the one who's, like, lesser known and, like, not as powerful. Pirithous' only stories are actually with Theseus, is the fun thing in this weird situation. But their best thing, I mean, they joined the Caledonian boar hunt together, but they also tried to go abduct Persephone because...
Oh, I do remember this, because they're really stupid.
Yeah, they're really stupid. So these boys were like, hey, you know what? We're really powerful demigods. We should go and have daughters of Zeus for our brides, even though one of them is a son of Zeus, so weird. So Theseus chose Helen of Troy, who at the time was a child, a literal, like maybe 8-year-old or something like that, like, not of marrying age child. And they left her with Theseus' mom, and then they went to go to the underworld, because Pirithous, the stupid head that he is, wanted to go and marry Persephone. And Hades was like...
Bro, she's taken.
I was gonna say she's married.
Yeah, Hades greets them and is like, oh, well, you must dine with me. Here, sit on, like, this stone here. And then they are trapped. Their butts are glued to these stones. Theseus is rescued by Heracles on one of his labors. Pirithous is just there forever. He's just glued to a stone in the underworld forever. Yep, his butt's still there.
To this very day.
It's fine.
No, that's what he gets for trying to steal someone's wife.
Yeah, that's what he deserves.
That's how chaotic a friendship between a Poseidon kid and a Zeus kid can be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's keep that in mind as we explore the friendship between Percy and Thalia. It's gonna be a fun time.
Oh, yes.
It's a very tense friendship.
I just really love that story. Because they get along, and God, these two are a time.
We've already kind of established in the series that Zeus and Poseidon have, like, tension, and so...
Yeah.
And Thalia said Annabeth said openly that either they'd be best friends or they'd hate each other.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to see how that shakes out.
So far, they don't seem to hate each other. There's more a jealousy thing going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Percy's jealous a little bit of the fact that all of a sudden she's the shiny new toy.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could see it from Thalia's perspective, too. I wish we got both of theirs on this situation. I feel like she'd be like, oh my god, he's being sexist. He just wants to save the day because he's, like, the guy. And he's just like... But, like, she's the daughter of Zeus, and, like, I'm not as cool, but, like, I'm totally as cool because I've been here. And she hasn't.
And there's also the thing that his other friends, Annabeth and Grover, have history with Thalia that he does not have.
Mm-hmm.
That he missed out on.
But she's also missed out on stuff. It's like they both missed out on things, so like...
Mm-hmm.
So we need her perspective then.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah. We need
Thalia's perspective.
So yeah, let's talk about this fun chapter.
It's so funny of Mr. Riordan to start out with my friends, Annabeth and Thalia, and, like, no explanation of that whatsoever. Just everyone who had the cliffhanger from the last book. Like, okay.
Did we even talk about her being a tree at all in this chapter?
No, not once.
It's
it hasn't come up.
It's over.
Annabeth and Grover had a history with her, but no mention of the tree situation.
Yeah, we kind of jump straight into the action with it's very funny.
It's fine.
I remember not liking it, like, as a kid, the first time reading this book, because I was like, what is she doing here?
you know, it's better than our friends on the restricted section like to complain about, like, the first chapters of every Harry Potter book where it's like, Harry was a very special boy, blah 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 blah. And then, like, the first 3 chapters, at least, are just, like, recap of the last couple books, as you're also going through things. That.
Yeah.
This is just like, no, we're going straight into it. If you need context, I'll give you a couple sentences, but otherwise, you don't need to know anything. Like, that's not important.
There's not any, like, exposition, really. Like, any of it that is here comes up naturally in context.
It's my favorite thing about Rick's writing style.
So it could be like a continuation, like, really, without a break. I mean, there's a time break, but it just seems like the story goes.
And I'm sure that there is a little bit more recap later that we're going to get into it, but I think the point of this one really was to, like, use that cliffhanger to kind of throw you into a new situation.
Oh, yeah. I love that it's an 8-hour drive. Like, these 3 half-bloods, and then Percy's mom.
Percy's delightful mother.
I also just want to know what kind of music they listen to, because they probably also fought over the music.
They would.
Like, I want to play some Green Day, and then...
It's so funny that that's, like, the punk music. Green Day. Not that Green Day isn't punk, but also...
It's a little old. You know, these things get dated after a while.
Well, okay, but she has been a tree for, like, 6 years or whatever, so her style would be a bit outdated.
What kind of music do you think Sally's into?
Let's see, Sally would be into some nice 80s music.
Yeah.
Probably some easy listening 80s music.
Just like my mom. Sally and my mom are just the same person.
We figured it out. Ray's mom is Sally. Sally's like, oh, do you want me to wait for you? Okay,
no,
okay.
No.
Imagine her just, like, waiting outside.
With the engine running.
After this fucking thing.
Oh my goodness.
Like, we don't know all the shit that goes down from this chapter, but...
I mean, it would make sense. They are 8 hours away from...
That would be wild.
They are 8 hours away from home. But nobody wants their mom waiting for them at the end of a quest.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's weird.
It's already embarrassing to Percy that she had to drop him off.
This is a book with gods. There will always be a literal Deus Ex Machina showing up. So
yeah, for real.
Not to spoil anything that happens later, but, you know.
So, to get into something else interesting that happened, that was sure a fun conversation that Percy and Annabeth had during their little dance when Percy's trying not to think about slow dancing with the girl.
It's so cute.
Probably his first time slow dancing with a girl.
Oh,
that's
yes.
why.
Well, he's like, oh, I just play basketball with the guys. I don't, like... God. What a dork.
He's a
just,
wallflower.
Like... Hey, Logan Lerman played Perks of Being a Wallflower. There's a connection.
Oh boy.
Also, just like, so Thalia can use the mist.
Yes, and that's the first time that we've seen like a half-blood do that. Like straight up Star Wars Force stuff. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, we've never actually seen somebody do that with the mist before. Like, at all.
Yeah, I feel like it's been implied by like the satyrs and Chiron showing up in schools and just like making stuff make sense to people. But
yeah.
I mean, the mist is there. We just haven't seen the Half-Bloods manipulate it yet.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool. Also, just like, didn't Chiron teach you that?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would make me upset too.
Do you think she said it that way, though?
No, I don't think she did, but...
That's how Percy heard it.
That's how Percy heard it, yeah.
And I also don't think that Thalia worries about being polite as a person,
Oh,
you
no,
know?
she doesn't. Definitely not.
But I also don't think she showboats either. She's just straight out there.
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
How she is. This is, I am how I am. It doesn't matter. I don't think she's trying to showboat and say, I knew this and you didn't. She's like, well, didn't everybody know this?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Okay. Do we think that Thalia's hair is naturally black or like she dyes it? I don't know. This is a question.
Haven't thought about it.
I always see like fan art of her, and like usually she has like blue streaks in her hair too. And I feel like I've never seen that described in the text ever.
I wasn't paying that much attention to like physical description stuff, so I don't know.
I've just always wondered that.
I get the gist that she was kind of goth. I don't know. So the black hair could just be something she does.
She's somewhere between goth and punk. Because Rick doesn't know if there's a difference, I guess.
So that may be something that she does. It may not be how her hair naturally is.
It could be, though. I'm trying to remember, like, her mom. I don't remember what her mom looks like, but, I mean, we haven't come across it in the books, so it doesn't matter, but...
Been a while.
Yeah, I have no memory of what her mom looks like, if we know.
Because her dad does not have black hair, correct? Zeus's hair is, like...
He has, like... blackish, grayish hair.
Does he?
Does he? Okay. Well, then it could be natural.
Yeah, but, like, they don't have to look like the godly parent. They don't have to.
I'm just saying,
yeah,
that's possible with the genetics.
Charlie, do you still have the book that used to have all the pictures in it?
Oh, with the pictures in it? Yes, it's like buried in my shelf over there because I have too many Rick Riordan books, so it's like behind things.
So you'll have to check it for the next episode.
It just has her with, like, black hair, and that doesn't mean that that's accurate. That's just an artist's interpretation, so... Because it's a book.
Then maybe you should email Rick and say, hey.
I'm always annoyed when, like, in the book, the cover or the illustrations actively aren't what are described.
Oh my god.
In Animorphs, the Animorphs covers and how they're just like pictures of teens. One of them is described as being blonde, and the actor who they pick for him has brown hair, and I've never understood that.
Oh my god.
It's like, why would you not just...
Of course you would bring up Animorphs.
Oh, you mean like Annabeth in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Do we have thoughts and feelings about, Dr. Thorne having a vague French accent?
Okay, I actually did want to get into this.
Canada.
That does make sense.
They're near Canada.
Okay, anytime that someone gets excessively described in one of these books, you're like, that's a monster. That guy's about to turn into a monster.
Wow.
Which is fun to, like, get, like, these really interesting descriptions of people, but the fact that they almost always turn out to be monsters is, like, it feels a little problematic that we're, like, that anyone with non-normative features, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
He has heterochromia.
And Percy thinks it's fake. Oh my goodness.
He's like Catra. He has heterochromia.
Oh, goodness.
Listen.
I also thought it was funny when I realized that his name's Dr. Thorne because he shoots spikes at people.
Yes. I love it. It's so good. And then Miss Gottschalk.
Gottschalk? Question mark?
Percy already covered that one for me.
I know he did, but I still want, like, a shirt or something that just, like, says Gottschalk. Like, the got milk thing.
Exactly. No, I figured out Thorne was a bad guy. I mean, obviously I've read this a million years ago, but I figured it out pretty quickly. I mean, the look on his face. They describe him like questioning them immediately.
Like, he's clearly suspicious, which, like, you could imagine that just being, like, a teacher who's like, you kids are acting weird. But if you know these books and you know how monsters are typically described to these books, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they said they can smell them, so he must have immediately been like, what's that smell?
I want to know what demigods smell like to monsters. Like, do they smell like cookies? Or, like, I don't know.
Fresh meat.
Gym socks? What do they smell like?
If you think about, like, ambrosia and stuff and how only gods can have it, I don't know, maybe it's kind of like that, where it smells like whatever you like best. The smell of divinity.
My goodness.
Wow.
That sounds like it should be in a commercial. The smell of divinity.
I keep seeing weird perfume commercials recently that would fit right in.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So we have 2 half-bloods. Not 1, but 2.
And they are siblings, which is interesting. I know that the Stoll brothers are the same like that, but it's not something that I think is very common to have.
Yeah. And, like, it is mentioned that the Stoll brothers are specifically not twins. They're, like, maybe a year or so apart. But Bianca and Nico are, like, a couple years apart. She's, like, maybe 12. He's, like, 10.
12 and 10, yeah.
Yeah. You know, something a little bit interesting there.
I wonder who their parents are.
No idea. We got nothing. They are just...
What is interesting about that is that it implies a either breakup and getting back together or a long-term relationship between a mortal and a god, which, like, you know, you kind of figure most of these are kind of one-night stand deals, which maybe is not the fair thing to figure, because normally they seem to have, like, some sort of relationship with the mortal parents. I wonder what the typical situation is for a demigod-parent relationship.
God, like, if you really think about it, okay, the gods can be, like, a million places at once, they can be anywhere they want to be. Why can't they just, like, have a million flames and, like, it be all, like, cool and just spend time with, like, their millions of girlfriends and boyfriends and their children? They can do it. Nothing is stopping them except the rules.
Or they could be with that one person and still do their responsibilities.
They are not omnipotent.
Oh, they don't have to be omnipotent, but they can be in multiple places at once, I believe.
But they're busy. Like in Sea of Monsters, when Hermes is talking to Percy, he's like, dang, I got so much stuff to do. I just got like 3 million emails during this one conversation. Like
Hermes is the difficult one because he's the millennial god. He's the god who has like 5 million jobs. And they're all like very underpaid.
But he likes that.
He does.
I figured that not only are they busy, but it's also sort of frowned upon.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's against the rules. It is. But
rules are made to be broken and they're gods.
Yeah, they're gods. Who fucking cares?
Let's be clear. They all broke the rules. We know we broke the rules. We got 2 demigod kids already.
They all know that they are constantly breaking the rules, yeah.
They also made the rules.
From the big 3.
So...
Yeah. The rules said that those 3 could not have kids, and we already know they have 2 kids.
At least.
So, rules are made to be broken, at least.
So this middle school dance. Let's talk about the logistics of this dance. What is with these girls going on? I am very confused by this pack of piranhas.
It's typical.
Is it?
Attacking a boy and dressing him up in makeup and shit.
I've never seen that.
Oh, they were dressing him up in makeup?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize they were dressing him up in makeup. Maybe I need to reread that. I thought they were, like, gathering around him.
Yeah, they would gather around a boy like a pack of piranhas, put ribbons in his hair and lipstick all over his face. Like, why?
Like, making fun of them, I guess.
This is not normal behavior. Rick, have you been to a middle school dance?
I don't know. Okay, the fact that it's a military school, I'm like, maybe I could see it. You know?
Maybe that's it. Are military schools just weird?
Like, okay, specifically, like, Catholic schools and military schools, everyone there is, like, insane. Like, they've been cut off from the world. They're in a total institution. If you let them do whatever they want, they will go wild.
Hey, Ray, guess where I went to high school? A Catholic school.
Oh, yeah? Was it a Catholic boarding school?
It was not. But still, everybody was a little bit insane.
Oh, no. Yeah, I went to, like, a church for 1 year in elementary school, and everyone there was, like, wild.
Yeah.
Like, they were trying to, like, summon Bloody Mary in the bathroom constantly.
What? Alright.
This is what you do when you go to school at the church.
No, that's what you never want to do because God knows you don't want that to happen.
See, I just made a lot of gay friends at my Catholic school because all the gays go to Catholic school because they're repressed.
So true. That was definitely true.
That's so sad.
Even the kids who didn't seem to admit they were gay seemed gay.
Yeah.
Please save them.
God save them.
They were hiding out in Catholic school.
Basically.
It's a safe place to hide.
My God. This is just, yeah, I don't know what's going on at this. I guess this is just like a weird military school thing, but...
I think the girls are just bullies. Just a bunch of bullies.
Maybe. I don't know. What are military school girls like? I wouldn't know.
I can't imagine. I don't know that Rick can imagine either, though.
Rick's just like, well, I guess they get to wear makeup this one day because they're at a dance, so they're gonna go nuts about it. So...
I mean, he made up a military school in the middle of nowhere, Maine. He might as well make it full of crazy people, right?
And then they play Jesse McCartney.
I forgot about that. Goodness.
Grover
chose it.
Yeah, Grover chose Jesse McCartney. I love it so much.
It totally dates this book.
It does.
In a bad way. In a really bad way.
Are you sure? Hey, Grover also played Hilary Duff on his panpipes.
Yep. Again, really dates it in a bad way. Play something classic, at least, and people can get behind it.
Oh, he also played, like, Mozart on his panpipes.
That is classic.
There you go. There's classic.
Well, I mean, is classical. There's a difference between classic and classical. I was thinking classic, like, I don't know. Journey. You guys like Journey? It's popular now,
like
too.
Journey? Come on.
Exactly, but that's from when I was a kid, so that's, like, classic.
See, I just like a lot of Elton John at this point.
Again, classic.
Calling myself out here. So I like that Thalia's like, we need to act natural. Guys, do you know how to act natural? No, none of us do. Let's dance, I guess. Grabs Grover, pulls him onto the dance floor.
At a dance when no one's dancing, it makes sense to be natural and dance.
I guess so.
I don't think Thalia would go into that group of piranhas and start making over guys randomly.
No, that does not seem like her vibe.
No.
I do like that little scene, though, Thalia grabbing Grover, and he's like, I can't dance, and she's like, you can if I'm leading, and just, like, drags him, and Annabeth is, like, looking at them fondly, like, it's so nice to have Thalia back. Like, Percy is jealous over that, but also it's nice, you kind of get, like, a snapshot of their dynamics.
Yeah, I just love the energy of Thalia being like, I'm gonna be leading, so, like, it'll be fine. Love her.
I think there's more than one kind of jealousy going on here. Just saying.
Oh?
You don't think so? I think you would always think so.
Well, obviously, Thalia is queer. We know this. This is obvious from her Hot Topic getup, I think.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think Thalia was jealous. I was thinking Percy was jealous of Annabeth in her hero worship, if it's hero worship or not. Of Thalia.
Well, Annabeth's also bisexual, so...
Okay. Is it in the books, or is that just your take on it?
I will stand by that till my dying day.
That's our hot take.
My hot take is Annabeth and Percy are both bisexual.
Yeah, bi for bi. Yeah, they have those vibes, 100%.
Absolutely. They're a very queer straight relationship. Well, they're gonna awkward dance now after Percy asks about that. Like, I like how he asks about her interests, and then he's like, I have no idea what's happening, but I'm still gonna ask about her interests because, friendship. And yeah, okay, cool.
And that works because she likes talking about her interests. Like, yeah, it's the ADHD.
Exactly. He's like, well, how would an ADHD person like to communicate their interests? Just go off about anything that you like. Just tell me about something. It's good stuff.
Oh, I forgot that we got a little foreshadowing of something.
Oh yeah, just a little bit.
I love it when people mention things and don't explain them to Percy whatsoever.
It's the first chapter. There's always going to be a million things of foreshadowing. So.
Yeah. So Annabeth says that her dad is moving to San Francisco. Is that it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that she cannot go to San Francisco. Half-Bloods can't go over there.
It's right
obviously.
There. It's right
there. What is it? What is it? What is it, Annabeth? Tell Percy. Tell the audience, please.
She keeps forgetting Percy has no idea about anything. I mean, he really has no idea about anything.
Yeah. No one explains shit to him, so.
She's lived in this world too long.
It's fascinating to me that Talia does know things. Sorry, I'm going to say Talia sometimes. I like it.
Is it Talia? Is it Thalia?
Apparently, Thalia is the more proper, Greek
I've heard it's the Greek pronunciation. Also, that's how Rick usually says it. So.
Okay.
I was listening to the audiobooks recently, and that's how they were saying it, was Thalia. But Talia, I don't know.
It doesn't fully matter. It is a book, and it does have multiple pronunciations, so...
I'm sure that there are some people in the audience who are like, why are you guys saying Thalia? And then there are some people who will be like, Talia, you can't say that, that's wrong, so...
There are still people who think that Rick's name is Riordan, so y'all are canceled if you think that. He literally has said in multiple interviews it's Riordan.
Who cares? Tomato. I keep thinking it's Talia, so there you go.
Yeah, that's the immediate way that I want to pronounce that, but I don't know. Anyways, I was gonna say that I feel like it feels odd that she feels so experienced, because we know that she never even made it to camp. And so,
But she was in the real world for a while.
That she's, very familiar with Chiron, and yeah.
She was fighting monsters on her own for a while, though, I thought, while she was trying to make her way to camp.
Mm-hmm. So she ran away at a young age. I assume that she was away from home longer than the others were, is what I gather from that. And she probably only talked to Chiron, during the last month or so of camp. So that's when she learned the mist thing, because she's like, I have all this experience, I know what I'm doing, and he's like, okay, well, you don't exactly exist at the moment because you're dead. Here's some mist powers so you can get into school, I guess. That's my take on why she has that.
That makes sense to me.
She's dead.
Yeah. I did kind of forget that she had so much experience outside of camp, and that she would have had a month of camp time to get to know everybody. You can learn a lot of things in a month.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then the chaos starts happening. After the awkward dance between Annabeth and Percy. Also, she's taller than him. I like that fact. Oh,
right! That she is now taller than him. That's so good.
And he's like, oh no! What's happening?
Well, they're at that age.
Girls be hitting their growth spurts.
Yeah, where girls grow and boys still kind of get stuck a little bit.
It'll be short for another year or so, at least. It'll be fine. So, chaos, the D'Angelos are gone. Annabeth goes to look for Thalia and Grover, and then Percy's like, wait, I see the kids and the monster guy. I'm gonna go after them, because I can do this.
Well, his first instinct is, I gotta go find Annabeth and grab her, and then he's like, wait.
Wait a second.
I can handle this by myself. I don't need nobody. And it's like, you can feel the bad decision vibes.
I mean, in his, defense, if he had gone to look for them, he might have completely lost them altogether.
Yeah, that is true.
The might have been completely removed, and they might not have been able to find them at all.
I do think going after them was kind of the right decision, but I also think that immediately he should have used his empathy link. This might be brought up
about
soon, but he should maybe say, hey, Grover, I'm going right after them. I see them. I'm gonna go after them so we don't lose them. Come and find me. Like, immediately do that.
He's a kid.
In the last book, Grover was only able to access that when Percy was asleep.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I know.
Also keep in mind, he's a teenage boy, and they tend to, especially at this point, he still tends to forget, like, to use his powers. When
this is true.
He's going on instinct.
It's like when you make a D&D character and you keep forgetting, like, about a specific ability that you have.
I mean, I think about it. He's in Maine in the middle of a snowstorm and he just got attacked. First thing I'd want to do is open a window.
Yeah.
He has water powers. It's in the middle of a snowstorm.
I did not even think about that.
Oh my god, Percy is Elsa.
I mean, snow is just frozen water, right?
I don't remember Percy ever moving snow, but I guess we haven't seen snow because it's always been summer.
I don't think he ever does or tries to.
And yet in future books, he pulls moisture out of the ground, right?
Yeah.
And out of objects. In future books, he pulls moisture out of the ground and out of objects,
So...
Could Percy blood bend?
Oh! Well, it is liquid. But probably not.
We can't think too hard about the elements.
Okay, we do see him, like, get rejuvenated from being in, like, a puddle or whatever, but I do think that it's important that it's, like, the ocean or a stream. Those things have, like, mystic energy.
So you're saying tap water won't do it?
Okay, like, toilet water does obey him, but I'm saying it probably isn't as good as, like, a river.
But wait, don't all drains lead to the ocean?
Hope not.
Yeah.
I seriously hope not.
I still headcanon that, like, Finding Nemo is one of Percy's favorite movies.
Aw.
It's one of my favorite, like, fandom things where everyone's like, yeah, he has Finding Nemo merch, obviously.
That's cute.
Don't you know? So Percy's an idiot. He's going into a dark hallway with his sword, just casually, and then he sees the two demigods. He's like, I'm here, I'm not here to hurt you.
Oh, yeah. And
Awkward.
They look so scared, and he's like, is it because I have a sword? Sorry, guys.
and Bianca's, like, trying to, like, eye him, like, no, there's a monster fucking behind you. Pay attention.
Yeah, he's not really swift in that regard.
It's interesting that this is kind of, like, a parallel to what happened to Percy in the very first book. Getting pulled aside by a teacher, and then you're like, that didn't go very well. Apparently my teacher is actually evil.
God, imagine, like, if there had been a demigod there to, like, come and try to help Percy in that moment instead.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
What interesting is, why does Rick think teachers are evil?
He was a teacher. Rick, are you trying to say something about yourself?
He does come up with a lot of weird and bad schools.
I think Rick has problems with, like, the education system.
Probably.
Seems like it to me.
As someone who worked at it, he's like, definitely evil.
I mean, in the last book, he comes up with a character to help run the school who completely hates the kids altogether.
Yeah. There are no good education systems. There's at least one good educator, arguably, in Chiron, but that's, like, the only guy.
Chiron's a good... I still have issues with Chiron at sometimes, because he can teach you how to fight, but he won't tell you, like, important things that you need to know.
I think he wants you to figure it out for yourself.
Sometimes he's not allowed to, and sometimes I think he's just being cryptic because he feels like it. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe that is, like, a very teacher thing. It's like, no, I'm not allowed to, like, actually tell you important life skills. Just
to learn them.
Like, the things that I'm allowed to teach you. No, nothing else. You gotta learn your taxes by yourself.
But that's dumb. Someone should teach us our taxes.
Exactly.
They used to. Back in the day, you could learn those basic skills in school. So.
Now they don't care about preparing you for life. Just
not at all.
Corporate drudgery. Good test scores.
My God. So Percy has been hit by a weird projectile. In at least his shoulder. Yeah. He's been hit once. And there's poison in it. Oh no, that's not good. And he's they've been kidnapped. They're kidnapped by a monster and they have to go. That's not good. And that's how the chapter fucking ends.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
Uh-oh.
We do love our cliffhangers.
Uh-oh.
Since there's several books, I think Percy's gonna make it through.
Are you sure?
Since it's called Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
Are you sure? Because I've heard stories about another young adult trilogy where they kill off the main character in, like, the third book.
What?
Divergent. Spoilers for Divergent.
But that was at, like, the end of that book, so it's fine.
Well, you can kill them at the end, but not in the middle.
Still stupid. I've only heard complaints about that series, honestly.
It wasn't good. I did read the whole thing. Okay, what was bad about that is that she was dead and the narration was still in first person from her perspective. And I was like, no.
What?
No, yeah. This is not how it works.
So she was talking from the other side.
I guess.
They had a Ouija board as they were, writing the book.
God. I never, like, read them. I just heard the things about it, and I was like, how are they gonna do that in the movies? That's not...
Well, they didn't, so there you go.
Yeah, they gave up.
And then they didn't finish them, so it's fine. They gave up. They're like, nah, we don't want to kill her off. It's fine. Oh my goodness.
Creative license.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's that chapter. Oh my goodness. A lot has happened, and also, like, not a lot at the same time.
Nothing really.
Yeah, we are in a situation suddenly.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fine. We're all good. Well, shall we move on to our things?
Oh, I keep forgetting we do that.
Yeah. We do plugs here. Well, first, Mother, would you like to tell the listeners where they can find you on the internet?
Where they can find me personally on the internet? I'm on Instagram under Travel Planning by Carrie. And we have a podcast, you and I, Charlie. Fandoms Gone Wrong. We do.
Wow.
Please listen to Fandoms Gone Wrong, where we talk about different media, books, movies, TV shows that we like, and we argue about things, and we discuss.
And we talk over each other
fun.
a lot.
Absolutely, because, that's our thing.
It's good shit. Very good shit. Do you have a plug for us, then, Mother?
Do I have a plug?
Like a media. What have you been listening to? Or watching? Or reading?
Okay. You're giving me too many options here.
There you go.
What have I been watching? I just got done watching Naomi, which is a really good superhero TV show.
Oh, it's on the DVR.
Ooh.
Really good on the CW. I highly recommend it.
You gotta catch up.
It's really good. I hope the next season is as good as the first. And I hope it keeps going. Because, they sometimes just drop these things off too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I also recently saw a Doctor Strange movie, which was really good, although I'm very sad that...
Spoilers!
Hey, it's been out for like 2 weeks.
I mean, I've already heard that, but like...
I don't know anything about that movie. I actually want to see the other multiverse movie that's out right now more, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I hear that's really good.
Wait, that's a
Anyways.
that's a multiverse thing?
I want to see that too.
Okay.
I want to see that so bad.
I have no idea what it's about. Interesting.
Me neither. I'm just excited.
It looks interesting.
I just keep hearing that it's, like, really good. And it feels up my alley, like the vibes. Anyways, I thought of something.
All right.
The Murderbot Diaries, I think is what the series is called, by Martha Wells. They are a series of novellas about a half-robotic, half-clone construct person who calls itself Murderbot. Its pronouns are it's made by a company to be a security, like, bot thing. Security unit, I think, is what they're called. But they have free will because they have, like, human brains and thoughts, but they're being, like, controlled by coding in them because they are half machine also.
Never goes well.
Yeah. So it's mostly a character study of this really interesting person who does not think in the same way that a regular human does, but who still wants to be treated with autonomy as a person, which, like, when you're neurodivergent, it's something that you relate to a lot. It's like, I don't want all of these human things that you're trying to push on me, but I do want you to respect me as I am and to treat me like a person. Yeah, it's a really, really good sci-fi series that has, like, a lot of fun interpersonal stuff, and I would recommend it. Your turn, Charlie?
Well, I already wrote down my plug because I just keep writing down plugs weeks ahead of time, and then I have to remember what they are. So my plug is a Percy Jackson podcast that I've been listening to recently.
Oh, what a coincidence.
Yeah, because I've just been listening to Percy Jackson pods because we were recording. I was missing Percy Jackson content. So I'm currently still listening to The Best Damn Camp, which one, good pun, good joke. Love that. We may get to that joke finally in this book. Huh? I'm excited for that. But, like, I love the premise of this podcast because it's, like, going through all of the stuff in timeline order. And that's very interesting to me. Like, I mean, okay, so that kind of means that it's not spoiler-free, I will say. While we try to be spoiler-free here, she went with, like, a short story that's, like, about Luke before reading the actual book series. It's like, okay, I get that. That makes sense. But also, like, if you don't know the series, then you don't get, like, the twist.
Is the podcaster doing it for the first time in chronological order? Okay.
She knows the series and everything, but it's like, you know, if you're a listener and you're like, huh, okay. You know what I mean? It doesn't, like, hit the same way if you do it, like, that first, but also, it does give you an interesting perspective if you already know it.
Yeah.
So, like...
Yeah, if you're a Percy Jackson fan, then yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fun. It's weird. I like it. Yeah, and that was the first chapter of Titan's Curse. God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this fucking book. Okay.
Hey, guys, we did a real episode of this podcast for maybe the first time.
Finally! It only took how long? Like,
you know.
It took a minute. It took a solid minute. Maybe 2.
It's gonna be like a month after we post our first, like, return episode until we actually start reading the book.
Yeah, it's fine. Actually, it'll be longer than a month. It's fine. Yeah, that's it from us. Y'all, get out of my fucking cabin, and because I'm gonna go to this, like, awkward middle school dance. Okay?
I'd never want to go to an awkward middle school dance again.
I wouldn't even chaperone one. Holy shit. They sucked.
You can follow the podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send an iris message to us through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, go to patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Movie Night Crew Network server, where you get to chat with us and hear some no-context spoilers about episodes we are recording. I personally recommend the $5 tier, where you get access to Against All Odds, our bonus show where we talk about basically anything vaguely related to mythology, Percy Jackson, or whatever we like. We also have a merch store on TeePublic, where all our designs are made by Charlie. Or if you cannot support us financially, please give us a review on iTunes and rate us on Spotify to help others know how much you love this podcast. You can follow me, Ray, at HeyHeyRay on Twitter. I also have another podcast called Barbie Movie Slap, where my co-host Ted and I talk about the Barbie cinematic universe. You can check out that podcast Twitter at Barbie Slaps.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter, I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram that I sometimes use at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mack, that's MACK, and I also have another podcast on the network called Fandoms Gone Wrong, where my mom and I talk about movies, TV shows, books, whatever other fandoms we enjoy. You can find that on all the major podcast podcasting apps. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast. Of the Oldest Gods is proud to be part of the Movie Night Crew Network, which features great podcasts like Fandoms Gone Wrong, a fandom-filled show co-hosted by yours truly. Hello, you awesome nerds out there. Yes, you. Have I got the podcast for you?
We've got pop culture, swearing, and all the immature jokes you could ask for.
We'll take you on a journey through TV shows, movies, books, and maybe a video game someday.
And we'll tell you how they all went wrong.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carrie.
And this is Fandoms Gone Wrong.
New episodes every other Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.